He does do that as well, but I do believe he wets a rock.
Hmm.
But we shall find out.
Stay tuned.
Just
The
Dave
little
on page
Easter eggs.
41 of page 41 of Dabbler. Halfway up in long lassos from Cock Lake. That's where he urinates.
It is. Okay.
And long lassos from the Cock Lake, the water flowed
Oh,
full.
gee,
What?
and I now know what that line means.
Ah, right.
Mm-hmm.
What
That's not
page on
today's, but
Wordsworth? Can you give me the Wordsworth page?
no, I don't know.
Okay.
45. It is
All
towards
right.
the bottom. It's about two-thirds of the way down.
Oh yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Better get this
But
job
the
over quick.
real,
Good
the
for you,
real,
Owen. You've solved the problem. You better
Well,
get this job over quick.
maybe.
Yeah.
but if you're going to be a real scholar in this regard, you're going to have to consider is this relief was as efficacious as the final relief in the Ithaca chapter out in the backyard.
Right. Right. Good deal. And Owen, he does. I know we're reading ahead, but you got me all excited here now, Owen. Okay. He says at the end, flower unfurling, and that evokes Bloom's penis in the tub. Remember, he's watching that, and the same language is used to describe his penis there. So there may be something here. This is great.
Right.
Okay. Well, anyway,
But
perhaps
Dave,
I
we
should
would have
help
got to this quicker.
clarify
So you want to keep on going
our.
back a bit.
No, I don't think that's pissing at all. That's just the water in, not the sea, because there's no danger that his ash plant would float away.
Well, maybe we'll come
I'm
back.
wondering if it's a little hyperbole. If we've had to go a long time, and
I think, Dave, you should watch the movie Saltburn.
Was that right?
That'll fill you in a bit.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, on this side of the Atlantic, we talk about having to go so badly our eyeballs are floating.
Haven't heard that before.
Right, but
Nice
I'm wondering if this is the same as he thinks his ash plant is going to flow away, such as the quantity of flow. I don't know.
Well,
I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and begin.
would suggest that it was made from his penis.
Yep. Anyway.
Let's go ahead and begin the reading. We're reading the Proteus section here.
Oh dear.
And there we go. We'll start on Wordsworth, page 44.
Can I interject?
Yes.
In Sloat, 3453, Cock Lake is also Cockle Lake, a tidal inlet just off Sandymount Strand, near Simon's position. This was originally a small secondary channel of the Liffey that branched to the South Stream and flowed into the bay by a tortuous coast. I'm just saying.
No, this is good.
This is the
good counterbalance.
The plot thickens, Sylvia.
This is Decock Lake, though.
No, and these are cockle pickers, you see?
I think, Joe, you should move on.
Weirder and weirder.
Well, we shall begin. We shall begin the reading. And Joe, take it away.
Aside I at my Hamlet hat. If I were suddenly naked here as I sit, I am not. Across the sands of all the world, followed by the sun's flaming sword, to the west, trekking to evening lands. She trudges, trots, trains, drags, sees her load, a tide westering, moon drawn in her wake. Tides, myriad islanded, within her, blood not mine, Anoipa ponton, a wine dark sea. Behold the handmaid of the moon. In sleep, the wet sign calls her hour, bids her rise. bride bed, child bed, bed of death, ghost candled, omnis cado et te veniet. He comes, pale vampire, through storm his eyes. His bat sails bloodying the sea, mouth to her mouth's kiss. Here, put a pin in that chap, will you? My tablets, mouth to her kiss. Now, must be two of them. Glue 'em well, mouth to her mouth's kiss. His lips, lipped and mouthed, fleshless lips of air, mouth to her womb, womb, all wombing tomb. His mouth moulded, issuing breath, unspeeched. Ooh-ha! Roar of the cataract planets, globed, blazing, roaring, way, away, 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 away. Paper, the banknotes, blast them! Old Daisy's letter, here! Thank you for your hospitality. Tear the blank end off. Turning his back to the sun, he bent over far to a table of rock and scribbled words. That's twice I forgot to take slips from the library counter. Lois?
His shadow lay over the rocks as he bent, ending. Why not endless till the farthest star? Darkly they are there behind the light. Darkness shining in the brightness. Delta of Cassiopeia, worlds. Me sits there with his auger's rod of ash, in borrowed sandals, by day beside a livid sea unbeheld, in violet night, walking beneath a rain of uncouth stars. I throw this ended shadow from me, man-shape ineluctable, call it back. Endless. Would it be mine, form of my form? Who watches me here? Whoever, anywhere, will read these written words, signs on a white field, somewhere to someone in your flutiest voice. The good Bishop of Cloyne took the veil of the temple out of his shovel hat. Veil of space with colored emblems hatched on its field, old, hard, colored on a flat. Yes, that's right, flat, I see. Then think distance, near, far. Flat, I see. East, back. Ah, see now. Falls back suddenly, frozen in stereoscope. Click does the trick. You find my words dark? Darkness is in our souls, do you not think? You dear, our souls, shame wounded by our sins, cling to us yet more. A woman to her lover clinging, the more, the more. She trusts me, her hand gentle, the long lashed eyes. Now where the blue hell am I bringing her beyond the veil? Into the ineluctable modality of the ineluctable visuality. She. What she? The Virgin of Hodges Figure's window on Monday, looking in for one of the alphabet books you were going to write. Keen glance you gave her, wrist through the braided jessie of her sunshade. She lives in Leeson Park with a grief and kickshaws, a lady of letters. Talk that to someone else, Stevie. A pick-me-up. Bet she wears those curse of God stays suspenders and yellow stockings darned with lumpy wool. Talk about apple dumplings. Piuttosto. Where are your wits? Next.
Touch me, soft eyes, soft, soft hand. I am lonely here. Oh, touch me soon, now. What is the word known to all men? I'm quiet here, alone, sad too. Touch me. He lay back at full stretch over the sharp rocks, cramming the scribbled note and paper into a pocket. His hat tilted down on his eyes. That is Kevin Egan's movement, I made, nodding for his nap, Sabbath sleep. Et vidit Deus, et erant valde bona. Hello, bonjour. Welcome as the flowers in May. Under its leaf he watched. Through peacock twittering lashes the souting sun. I am caught in this burning scene, Pan's hour, the faunal noon, among gum-heavy serpent plants, milk oozing fruits, where on the tawny waters leaves lie wide, pain is far, and no more turn aside and brood. His gaze brooded on his broad-toed boot, a book's cast off, Nibin and Ander. He counted the creases of rough leather wherein another's foot had nested warm, the foot that beat the ground in tripundum, foot I dislove. But you were delighted when Esther Oswald's shoe went on you, girl I knew in Paris. Tiens, quel petit ped, staunch friend, a brother's soul. Wiles love letter that dare not speak his name. His arm, Cranley's arm. He now will leave me, and the blame, and the blame, as I am, all or not at all. Next.
In long lassos from Cock Lake, the water flowed full, covering green goldeny lagoons of sand, rising, flowing. My ash plant will float away. I shall wait. No, they will pass on, passing, chaffing against the low rocks, swirling, passing. Better get this job over quick. Listen, a four-worded wave speech. Sisu, earth, resis, ooze. Vehement breaths of water amid sea snakes, rearing horses, rocks. In cups of rocks, it slops, flop, slop, slap, bounded in barrels, and spent, its speech ceases. It flows purling, widely flowing, floating foam pool, flower unfurling. Under the upswell tide, he saw the writhing reeds lift languidly and sway reluctant arms, hissing up their petticoats and whispering water swaying and upturning coy silver frauds. Day by day, night by night, lifted, flooded, and let fall. Lord, they are weary and whisper to. They sigh. St. Ambrose heard it, sighs of leaves and waves awaiting the fullness of their times. Debus et noctibus injurias patens ingemisset. To no end, gathered, vainly then released, forth flowing, wending back, loom of the moon. Weary too in the sight of lovers, lascivious men, a naked woman shining in her courts, she draws a toil of waters. 5 fathoms out there, full fathom 5, the father lies. At 1, he said, found drowned. High tide of Dublin Bar, driving before it a loose drift of rubble, fanned shoals of fishes, silly shells. A corpse riding salt white from the undertow, bobbing apace, a porpoise landward. There he is. Hook it quick, pull. Sunk though he be beneath the watery floor. We have him. Easy now. Next, please.
Bag
Next.
of corpse, Sylvia. Bag of corpse gas, sopping in foul brine, a quiver of minnows, fat of a spongy titbit, flashed through the slits of his buttoned trouser thigh. God becomes man, becomes fish, becomes barnacle goose, becomes featherbed mountain. Dead breaths I leave, I living breathe, tread dead dust. Devour Uranus offal from all dead. Hauled stark over the gunwale, he breathes upward the stench of his green grave, his leprous nosehole snoring to the sun. A sea change this, brown eyes salt blue, sea death, mildest of all deaths known to man. Old Father Ocean, Prix de Paris, beware of imitations, just you give it a fair trial. We enjoyed ourselves immensely. Come, I thirst. Clouding over, no black clouds anywhere. Are there? Thunderstorm. All bright he falls, proud lightning to the intellect. Lucifer, dico, qui nescit occasum. No, my cockle hat and staff, and his my sandals shoon. Where? To evening lands. Evening will find itself. He took the hilt of his hash plant, lunging with it softly, dallying still. Yes, evening will find itself in me without me. All days make their end. By the way, next, when is it Tuesday, will be the longest day. Of all the glad new year, mother, the rum rum tiddly rum. Long Tennyson, gentleman poet, Gier. For the old hag with the yellow teeth, and Monsieur Drummond, gentleman journalist, Gier. My teeth are very bad. Why, I wonder? Feel, that one is going too. Shells. Will I go to a dentist, I wonder, with that money? That one, this toothless Kinch, the Superman. Why is that, I wonder? Or does it mean something, perhaps? My handkerchief. He threw it, I remember. Did I not take it up? His hand groped vainly in his pockets. No, I didn't. Better buy one. He laid the dry snot picked from his nostril on a ledge of rock carefully. For the rest, let look who will. Behind, perhaps there is someone. He turned his face over his shoulder, rare regardant, moving through the air high spars of a three-master, her sails brailed up on the cross trees, homing upstream, silently moving, a silent ship. Jim.
Okay. Well, maybe we should, I realize,
That's a little.
we might want to talk about what we've read before we move on to the next.
Sure. Well, we have our Tempest reference in there, Full Fathom 5, Thy Father Lies.
Right on.
Mhm.
Right on. Glad you picked that up, Donna. Little advanced publicity for tomorrow's reading session.
Absolutely.
By the way, I checked with Uncle Google about does Stephen urinate, and the answer is yes. He does exactly where Owen said. So exactly that.
Really? Because
So,
I actually came to the opposite conclusion based upon on page 245 his position. So on 245, he lies down. He lay back at full stretch over the sharp rocks. This is the paragraph, two paragraphs right before the so-called pissing episode. But I can assure you, based on my own personal experience, it would be very difficult to piss from a lying down position with your clothes on.
yeah, but who are we to dispute with Uncle Google?
Ah, yes, I am an arrogant lad, I will have to say.
So there must be some other twist in there where he stands upon his own feet or something, probably the words. But anyway, it's good. Like just because I was not aware of that, so thank you, Owen.
We can thank Blooms and Barnacles for that. I have a
Plums
note
and
here.
barnacles. Yes, I'll end up there too.
Well, just a
Yeah,
matter
but
of it.
I
I
got to say,
remember.
when I was reading it there myself, I was double guessing myself as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I actually did a full turn and
Yeah,
decided that no, he did not. It's simply describing him looking at the water from his lying down position. I assume he's a little elevated. His head is a little bit elevated as one would be, mostly on the beach, and he's looking down at the water coming in, swirling, and that's what that description is. It's
Well,
him.
I remember when I was a young fella, I was about 14 or 15, and I was coming out of town going home. And there was a long stretch of footpath ahead of me. And I remember seeing this water flowing. And I thought, Jeannie Mac, there must be a pipe broken. And then as I got closer, I saw there was a form on the ground. And as I got closer, I saw that it was a wino from a wet house nearby. And he was conked out asleep, but he had just managed to get his penis out and was relieving himself. But what struck me was the smile of absolute satisfaction on that sleepy face. What a prodigious flow of liquid it was.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we have it here. Stephen is urinating, pissing, and at the same time he's listening to the sea, which sometimes I have trouble urinating. Okay, I've gone to the doctor. There's no medical issue, but if there's water flowing, it makes it easier to urinate.
It was the same way
That
you
is true.
toilet train
That is
a
true.
baby. You toilet train a toddler by
Right.
turning on the faucet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stephen is
Well,
urinating here, listening to the sea coming in, and the long lassos. He's there making lassos with his urine in the sand, and then he eventually fills up in cups of rocks. It slops.
Mhm.
yeah.
His urine flop, slop, slap, bound in barrels. So it's bound in barrels. That can't be the sea coming in it.
Cups of rocks
No.
that slap.
If you get the old maps, unfortunately this part is hard. They don't feature on land maps where he is, but they do feature on one by no less a person than Captain Bligh, who surveyed Dublin Port. And at the spot where Stephen is, he's got a whole lot of dots. It's very rocky.
Mm-hmm.
This
Uh,
is the Captain Bligh.
of mutinous bounty. Yes.
Oh, wow.
He surveyed. He was asked to survey Dublin Port to deal with the silting, and he it was that put that, what do you call the thing out of Malahide, the 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 north. It's not the north wall. It's after the north wall, the wall that goes out. It's
The
a sea.
east wall.
I don't think it's east wall. It's
The south wall and the north wall.
the south wall and north came later. But he put the big. Oh, there's a name for it. We all know it. I just can't remember it. But anyway, it's him. It's his map. I got a friend of mine in the sailing club got this for me. Got me a copy of it. And
Huh.
there are the rocks, and we think we have identified the rock that this guy lay back on, and but you see, you'd want to have a few Guinness and a couple of whiskey on you before you go and listen to this story, out there. Like, it's very rocky, so he's kind of got a bit of cover as well. He's not just there on a sandy beach.
Right. He's not completely exposed, as they say.
Not totally.
So may I ask
Joe.
if you know if this is Captain Bligh prior to the mutiny or post-mutiny?
I think it's post mutiny he did that survey. I'm open
Yeah.
to look at.
No, it is. As far as I remember, yes, it was.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Joe, just interested in how you believe Google over me, I say something you don't believe me, and then Google you believe.
And Google doesn't have a penis.
How's this worked out?
Uncle Owen. We should believe Uncle Owen from now on.
Well, no, and if it's any consolation, I believed you over it all over until I read this section carefully.
Yeah.
And now I
Another,
find myself in the awkward position of disagreeing with both you and Joe at the same time.
And Uncle Google. That was meant to be irony because most of the stuff we read on Google is wrong.
there's a good part there that, again, Blooms and Barnacles tease out. Just at the bottom of page 41 on Dabbler, begins, God becomes man. Everybody with me?
No,
Yeah.
Mm,
It goes over to the next page. The
Yes.
very bottom of the page, then to the top of the last page.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, God becomes man, becomes fish, becomes barnacle goose, becomes featherbed mountain. And so my note here is that this refers to God reincarnates as Jesus, who becomes a fish. With the
Yeah.
the fish symbol becomes a barnacle goose, who were believed to be not born from eggs but from barnacles. And the barnacle geese feathers are used to make a feather bed, and it's the feather bed mountains there in Dublin, i.e. reincarnation. God becomes man, becomes fish, becomes barnacle goose, becomes featherbed mountain. Death breeds, living breed. Well, that's my notes anyway. That sentence is about reincarnation. The ichthus, is it? We call it ichthus, the fish.
the fish, yes.
Yes.
Joe, any comments on that, or Dave, or Donna?
Sorry?
I think it is ichthus, and does it not become an acrostic in Greek?
Yeah, yes, that is. That's the Christian, when Christianity was outlawed, it says Jesus Christ is our savior, and they would just draw a fish.
Okay. Right.
As in ichthyology. The study of fish is ichthyology or something like that.
Right.
And we have here a touch of the study of Nora Barnacle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Little reference there. I actually thought it rang of the business in Hamlet where Caesar ends up stopping a barrel. So the great man goes through this decay in the sort of cycle of life and ends up stopping a barrel. And that's what I thought. I thought it kind of echoed that, though they're not mutually exclusive in terms of what you suggested also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The notes here again, the barnacle goose were migratory birds, so nobody ever saw them hatch or saw a baby goose. So that's why they were thought to come from barnacles rather than an egg.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So you got Nora Barnacle in there, and the Featherbed Mountains is mentioned somewhere else as well when they were coming home from the Glen Cree.
Coming over the featherbed, yeah.
From the Glen Cree dinner dance.
Yeah.
The Featherbed Mountains.
Is that where Lanahan was free with his hands?
Lanahan was free with his eyes, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like it's I'm reading from Sloat now, so it's kind of quoting from Hamlet: "A man may fish with the worm that had eaten of a king, and eat of the fish that have fed of the worm."
Right.
It's it's almost a cycle going on. We all are.
The cycle of life.
Well, this is also going back to the drowned man from the first chapter.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salt water turns eyes brown to blue.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a chance here, could I reread the first paragraph that we looked at today, and if somebody could parse that out for me, I got some ideas, but I'm not sure how solid they are. Would that be all right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
A side eye at my Hamlet hat. If I were suddenly naked here as I sit, I am not. Across the sands of all the world, followed by the sun's flaming sword to the west, trekking to evening lands, she trudges, schleps, trains, drags, trascines her load. A tide westering, moon drawn in her wake, tides myriad islanded within her blood, not mine. Onapa, Ponton, a wine dark sea. Behold the handmaiden of the moon. In sleep, the wet sign calls her hour, bids her rise. Bride bed, child bed, bed of death, goes candled. Omnis carol ad te veniet. He comes pale vampire through storm his eyes, his bat sails bloodying the sea, mouth to her mouth's kiss. So I guess my opening question would be, it says she trudges, sleps, trains, drags, trascines her load. Is she the moon? Is the antecedent of that pronoun moon?
That's what I think.
Okay, good,
No,
Lois, thank you.
It's the cockle pickers.
Right, and the cockle pickers get worked in. Yes, thank you. So we're kind of, there's a kind of a duality here, because we come to the cockle pickers soon enough when he's talking about petticoats, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is the behold the handmaiden of the moon, that would be the sea, correct?
Dave, just on that point.
Go.
Sorry, Dave, just on that point. Behold the handmaid of the moon immediately rings for me, behold the handmaid of the Lord,
Yes.
which is from the Hail Mary, the Catholic prayer.
Right.
Yes, they do.
Just wonder, is he doing a sort of a paraphrase there?
Mm.
Not sure what it means.
Well, he's playing the literati here.
Yeah. This goes back to last week's conversation, Duncan. You raised a sort of a suggestion that this was a depiction of an immature writer who would have to rid himself of this stuff to be able to write well. And I sort of worried about that a lot all week. And I think that really what his mind hops from idea to idea, often by sound and association of phrases.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he hears of this guy Abbas, and he thinks of Abba, Father. And this is what Joyce does. Joyce plays with words. He plays it with sounds.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Very unconnected words. And he's just giving his character Stephen that. And I think that's what's going on here. He's hopping from St. Luke to the Hail Mary and back to the moon and the cockle pickers. They're not one or the other. It's all of them at once. And to me, that's where he's depicting himself. And and then when we try to parse it, we're picking these things out. And it's a bit of a fool's errand, to be honest with you, I think, I think you do a little bit of close reading of Shakespeare, it's great. But the idea of close reading a whole episode, never mind close reading a whole book, to me is a great way of ending up giving up this book. This is what people.
See, for me, I guess I would challenge you on that. For me,
I know, yeah, I'm challenging you on it.
I guess fair enough. And I don't know if either of us is wrong.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a balance to be struck.
Yeah.
And I know I've seen whole reading groups dissolve because they simply, people need a little bit of pace. But they also need a little bit of close reading. And I think the close reading in this group is terrific. But we shouldn't get carried away by it too much, just do it. And it's great. And then get pace again. And
Right. Well, I think that's why I'm getting more and more attracted to the idea of what is Joyce doing here? So, for example, the grounding type stuff for me is the paragraph on page 41 or 45, 41 in Gabler. He laid back at full stretch over the sharp rocks, cramming the crib note and pencil into his pocket, his hat tilted down on his eyes, which is all very physical stuff.
yeah.
He is literally grounded here. as opposed to across the sands of all the earth, followed by the sun's flaming sword to the west, trekking to the evening land. She trudges, she slept, which is all fanciful, not grounded at all. It's some mix of reality and stuff he read and his imagination, and so I'm finding more and more pleasure and value in figuring out where is this boy now?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what part of his body is he in? Is he in his body? Is he in his fanciful mind? Is he in his literary mind? You know?
He's in writer mode. He's letting the words flow. Like across the sands of the world, followed by the sun's flaming sword to the west, trekking lines. That could be the sea. Like that is the sea trudging and dragging her load, dragging all the bits and pieces, flotsam and jetsam with her. Uh,
Mhm.
Yeah, an oipe ponton. That's Crete GST Mesian an oipe ponton Cali Kipiera, the most famous line in Homer. And
Mhm.
all it's just two words bouncing into his head and they're gone. So I think we're looking for meaning, more meaning than is buried here.
Well, it seems her load was because, again, according to Blooms and Barnacles, these women had performed an abortion.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's her
I-
load.
in his imagination, they
Oh, yes.
they may have. And this is the artistic process. This is the artist. People who
Mhm.
write poetry don't sit down and say, I must think of a good word. That's a great word. Now I got another word. That's a good word too. I need a third word. I have 10 words by lunchtime. They don't
Mhm.
think like that. They ideas flow and flow and imagery
Right.
flows. And that's what's going on. That's all that's happening.
That's what
Um,
that's what I find, Joe, when I'm writing my verse.
Find that. Yes. Yeah.
just Dave, at the top there, you read it out. A side eye at my Hamlet hat.
Yeah.
The cockle pickers are just looking at him, but
Yeah, that's
he's
what I thought.
he's calling himself, naming himself as Hamlet. Then Stephen, and he's setting himself up for this row with Mulligan in Scylla and Charybdis.
Yeah.
If I were suddenly naked here as I sit, but he's not, because he's armed with his his theory on Hamlet. Hamlet.
Mm.
But thank you. I would add to that on that the moon and the sea seem to transform themselves into a woman here who's dying. Correct? Bride bed, child bed, bed of death goes candled. The Latin means all flesh will come to thee. He comes, pale vampire, assume death through storm his eyes, his bat sails, blooding the sea mouth to her mouth's kiss. So there's something about the sea that makes him think of death. At least that's how I read it, but certainly
Well,
open to being
we do
challenged
have a
on it.
dead man. We do
And,
have a
and,
dead
and,
man
Yes,
and
yes, we
disintegrating.
do. But
yeah,
it's female here, Duncan.
it's
Yes, but he's
water.
he's wrestling with his mother.
Right. And is there the
This
sense?
is he's not quite. What do you do with this information that your
Right,
mother has died
right,
and she's disintegrated and she's,
right.
you know,
Yeah, but doesn't Ophelia mention the cockled hat and staff in
A
Hamlet?
song. It's a song.
Which,
How shall I my true love know? By
yeah,
his cockled hat and
and,
And
and then
Shun.
then she drowns in water. You see, it's all just it's lots of little snippets of creativity coming as they come to his head. As you say, I agree with you. The mother, you see, like as well, and also the sea. It's all one.
it's got the sea, you got the dead man, the sea, you got your mother's
It,
recent death, you have the literary stuff, where
yeah,
you've got Mulligan's literary stuff of what
mm,
is it, Jumpin' Jesus? What's the song?
the ballad
That
of
Ballad.
Joking Jesus.
The joking Jesus, low grade humor. We've got some Homer in here. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But Joe, you give us a broad stroke, which kind of stuck with me, is this whole notion of the struggle of Proteus.
Oh yeah.
And so are we, to
Yeah,
find
this is it. This episode keeps changing its bloody shape. I like
Mhm.
Proteus. And the trick to win against Proteus is not to get taken in by changes of shape. Just hold him by the throat until he tells you where Odysseus is. Don't let go of him because he says he's a lion, or you think he's a lion. Don't let go of him because it's only a leaf. Keep hold your course. And that is, as you said, the broad. I'd forgotten that. It is the broad stroke. You see how easy it is to forget it. But
no, but it just when we were struggling with it, I was just listening, and trying to understand. And I remembered then what you said.
yeah.
So
Well, there you go. But that's not me, by the way. Like that's James Joyce said that to Budgeon.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Text itself is Proteus and trying to escape. And that's I mean, it's part of the beauty of it. That's why reading it at a bit of speed is a good idea. And
Yeah,
slowing
but
down.
everybody in this group has read it multiple times before.
Yeah.
Correct.
Don't understand.
Although I would have to say that I understand it more at
Mm.
a better level this time than ever.
Right.
And that there have been past readings where it was just like, read a little faster so we can get to Calypso.
I know.
Get to sanity. But that's the way to do it. That's the way we take in information. Like the old story that the most information someone can absorb is three things at a
Mhm.
time. So when you meet someone and sort of says, "My name is Fred," "Oh yeah, this is my cousin John," he doesn't say, "Let me tell you about my great grandfather who years ago came from and then he married." So yeah, you just get to this guy's game. What was his name? Was it Fred? Was it? Is it Fred? That's the way we are. We pick up two or three things at a time and we come back again to it. And that's what Joyce means when you read this book. You have to read it forever.
Is
You
there
don't need to
Uh-huh.
read other
a
Uh-huh.
books.
crossover? There's a crossover here on this because this is up until this stage we haven't met Leopold Bloom, and on the next page we will meet Leopold Bloom. But
Yeah.
the connection is that Stephen urinates in this passage, and Bloom enjoys the taste of urine in the kidneys in the next passage.
Yeah.
Good point.
Urine is the link.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
a bit like what Owen said, remember that ball or that thing, I don't know what chapter it's in, when it kept bouncing and turning up at different places. It wasn't a ball, it was something.
This is Ulysses we're on now tonight, Sylvia.
Is it a Euroflow?
No. But there's in another chapter, there was something that kept turning up. It was like stone or I don't know what it was.
Some object.
I'll point it out. I think it's in the part where Father Conroy is. We're over around North Strand, I think. Anyway, forget what I said, but
No,
this
I
thing.
won't forget it. I'll just try to
up.
figure out what you're talking about eventually. But this whole thing about the Proteus part and hanging on to Proteus. I've told you before that I belong to a Facebook group called Aging Solo. And one of the wonderful things about the group is a lot of the people are very naive. And they just say what's on their mind.
Yeah.
And so I will tell you, like, today we had another example. Oh, I was happily married for X number of years and my husband got cancer and he died 13 years ago and I'm struggling today, Oh, I wish this hadn't happened. And it's to me, other people can disagree with me, of course. This is an example of someone not, doesn't make any sense, wrestling with Proteus, with not grabbing Proteus, with not realizing that no matter how much you want something to remain the same, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And this is a fundamental life lesson is it flows, it changes,
Does.
you know? And so, of course, I'm not going to go in and say any of that stuff to this woman, although I may put some oblique thing in some other message sometime. But that's really the deal. It's just like Bloom in Hades when we get to Hades and we got the rat, going down into the crypt to enjoy his lunch, so to speak. And that Joyce is wonderfully gruesome and good at showing the transmutations. Anyway. And then occasionally he puts, here, put a pin in that chap, will you?
Is that near the Bishop of Coin, is it? Cloyne.
What are you referring to, Owen?
Put a pin in that chap. Who was the chap that put a pin in? Here, oh, no.
Oh, it must be he comes pale vampire through storm his eyes, his bat sails. I would assume put a pin in that chap actually means drive the stake into the vampire's heart. Would be part of what's going on there. But it's also, I'm taking it as put a pin in that chap. Well, here's a little image that I should grab onto and make note of.
Yeah, I think I read it like that too.
Yeah. If it's any comfort, Sloat says, in context, put a pin in that chap is unclear.
No.
Okay.
Very helpful.
Joyce wrote something that's unclear.
Sloat wrote that something Joyce wrote was unclear. Yeah.
Put a pin.
A couple.
Sounds like a bit of slang from the times. Yeah.
Yes, I wonder if there's an idiom here that we're missing.
Put a zip.
It reminded me of the idiom of put a sock in it.
Yeah, put a sock.
I think so.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
when I read it. That's what I thought. Put a sock in it means stop. Just stop.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Be quiet. Yeah.
That's what my father. If my father said that to me, that's what he meant. Put a zip in it.
Oh, right. If my father
yeah,
had
yeah.
said that to me,
Yeah. It's Dublinese. So my father was
put a
Dublinese.
pen in it. Put
Yeah.
a sock in it.
Give it over.
So here's what Dr. Google says. Put a pin in it is an idiom meaning to pause or postpone a discussion idea for later, marking it to be revisited when there's more time or focus, like
Yeah.
pinning a note to a corkboard for future reference.
Table it.
Yeah, that's right, Lois. He's talking. I mean, I'm assuming that the vampire is somehow a reference to death,
Yeah.
and he's wanting to push considerations of that aside. I'm just guessing here.
Oh, you really think so? Huh.
I don't know.
Well,
Nothing I
just-
mortgaged the house on.
Yeah, just to comment on what you said, though, Dave. To me, it's like he knows he's watching his mind.
Right.
And his mind is going through this and this and this, and he can't note it all down. That's just not the way it works.
I think that's it exactly.
But the occasional something will come along, and he will say, "Oh, I got to make a note of that," because very soon after that we have the thing about, "Oh, damn, I forgot to bring the pieces of paper."
Yeah.
So he rips
And
the
that's
bottom
where
off of Gizi's letter, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
where
what the
he gets-
reference to my tablets is. my tablet says, "Where's my writing tablet?"
Yeah.
And
Ah,
and then
good
he,
on you, Owen. I wondered what that was.
my tablet, where's my writing tablet? And then he's put a pin in it. Stop, Stephen, he's saying. Stop thinking about all this nonsense. Where's my writing tablet? And then he formulates the poem. This is the poem. The poem is mouth to her mouth. No, it must be two of them.
Yeah.
Gloom, well, mouth to her mouth. And this is the poem that he's
Yeah.
writing in his mind. And then he says, "Oh, a bit of paper. So I'll get the paper off DC's letter."
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, and if you want the pin, going back to the pin, this could be a reference to Molly when Molly is pointing out the word metempsychosis. She uses a hairpin, you see, and it's foretelling it, just like the taste of urine. And that is, by the way, is a
I
joke.
love it.
I've just made it up.
I love it. I love it.
Well, you can go anywhere with this stuff. And then he mouths. Could pick it up there. His lips lipped and mouthed fleshless lips of air, mouth from out, all moving mouth. Do you know where that comes from?
No.
That's a typing error by the typist that typed the draft, and Joyce saw it and didn't bother changing it.
He liked it.
Well, he just didn't bother. He didn't feel there was any. He obviously didn't feel an urgent need to adjust his artistic heritage, It tells you something about what's going on.
And then the good Bishop of Clyne, then that's George Berkeley. They had a Berkeley library here in Trinity College. I think they've changed the name, but recently, have they,
Hang
Joe?
on. We're on Berkeley Road now with Bloom. We're on Berkeley Road with Bloom.
What?
You're right about the Berkeley Library on. They've changed it to one of the modern poets,
Yeah.
Evan Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Did Berkeley do something wrong?
Yeah, he was a slave trader.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Berkeley, the philosopher.
Berkeley Road is in up in Phibsborough, though, Joe. Oh, you were joking, were you? We're not in Berkeley Road.
I was joking, yes.
Oh yeah, sorry. No.
I have been joking for some time, guys.
Yes.
Here in the last few minutes. I'll stop. I get serious again. I go on mute.
Yeah, right.
You sure you haven't been on the sauce, Joe? But yeah, I mean, I was hoping somebody else would talk there about Berkeley, but I just know from a note written here that he argued that we don't interact with reality, only our perception of reality.
Yeah.
That was his
My
claim.
note's something like that too, Owen. Berkeley, who said that everything exists in the mind rather than as external objects, i.e., distance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's what all the modern psychologists say. It's not what happens that matters, it's how you interpret what happens.
Yeah, going
Oh,
back to
hello. We've got a new
Epictetus.
Joycean scholar, Owen.
Look there. Hey.
Hello.
Hi, look who's
Say good
there.
night to everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
You going to bed? Happy Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Well, I cannot mention George Berkeley to me without me bringing up the idea that in Finnegan's Wake, where Buckley shoots the Russian general, that is possibly an extended pun that actually can be translated as Berkeley shot the rush in general,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is a criticism of modern life. Everybody moving so fast they don't notice anything.
Mm.
Anyway.
Can someone remind me, how did we get on to Bishop Berkeley?
Well, he's
Um,
mentioned here as the good
Cloyne.
Bishop of Cloyne, and it's.
Oh,
Are you in Gabler there, Jim?
no, I'm in Wordsworth.
Okay, so where we started reading, worked down about 3 or 4 paragraphs, the equivalent of about half a page, and you'll see it says the good Bishop of Cloyne.
Bishop of
Okay,
Cloyne, yes.
I find it.
The good Bishop of Cloyne took the veil of the temple out of his shovel hat, veil of space with colored emblems hatched on its field.
Oh, yeah, I have it. I have
Got
it.
it. Okay, good.
Thank you.
At another reading group, or at this reading group previously, and I'm sure you've talked about it already. It was my contention that Stephen isn't wearing glasses today. Have you discussed that one already, Duncan? You have?
We haven't discussed it this time.
No. Well, Stephen's walking along the beach there, talking about ineluctable modality of the visible. He's got bad eyesight. He's broken his glasses, or at least he's not wearing his glasses. And in real life, Joyce didn't wear glasses for a period of time. He was trying to exercise his eyes to improve the vision. Didn't work. But around this time, Joyce was not wearing glasses, and so one of the reasons Stephen is thinking about vision in his mind is because he can't actually see stuff from his physical eyes.
Okay. And where in the particular Proteus thing, what are you basing that on?
That's a very good question. So the limits of the diaphan would be the limits of his vision.
Okay.
Like if it was a misty day, that would be a diaphan, something that restricts your vision.
Right.
Now it's not a misty day today, but the restriction on his vision is his own eyes are not working particularly well, and he's not wearing glasses. And I got that from Critical Essays on Ulysses, you know that book, page 353. Little heart of one of these fellas.
I'm not
But I
sure
know from reading, you know, the big Joyce book, who wrote it? The big, huge book.
Slow.
Slowed?
No, the Joyce's life.
Richard Ellman?
Edinger.
Ellman, yeah.
Ellman.
I looked it up in there, and there was a period of his life when Joyce, which corresponds to this, that Joyce was not wearing glasses in an effort to improve his vision.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you suggesting? I'm trying to tease this one out because this is quite interesting one. Are you suggesting that because he doesn't have that physicality, because he can't see, because things are more of a blur, that it sets his imagination in motion more?
That's it. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Thanks.
Okay. Well,
Duncan has heard me argue this a few times already at this stage.
Yeah. Well, it's the relationship of perception to thought is an exceedingly important topic. And it's actually very important to me because I am very colorblind.
Okay.
So I run into this all the time.
Where down and see, can I get my
I literally cannot see some important stuff that other people can see. And that also necessarily means that people don't see what I see. And, anybody who studied human perception in the first class in psychology at university learns very quickly that this is true of all of the senses, that the range of the accuracy of sense perception is quite wide among populations. Some people have exquisite, like my daughter My eldest daughter was exquisitely good at smells. And she could detect levels of smells that no one else could detect.
Yeah.
And Joyce being a person with difficult eyesight, to say the least, um, and with very good sensitivity to the effects of words, and knowing that other people did not interpret words the way he did, I think these issues would be extremely important to him. So anyway, I'm rambling on at this point.
No, but let's follow this up using Owen's contention. Then, would you suggest that because you, unlike the rest of us, are not sort of distracted by color, that this gives you the freedom to kind of ruminate philosophically a bit more? So somebody like Van Gogh, who's just like drawn to color, you don't have that. So are you more inclined to think things through?
Well, it's more complicated than that, Dave.
All right.
Because although if you sat me down with a color chart and you said, what color is this? What color is that? What color, blah, 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 I would do rather poorly.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you change the topic and you said, how deep is this color?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually am very good at that.
Okay.
I can tell you how rich a color is. I just can't tell you all the time what the color is.
Okay.
So, and this is the nature. There's the old joke about the trickster rabbit walking down the road between two farms, and he's wearing a hat, and one hat is yellow on one side, and it's red on the other side. And he just walks through the farm, and then one of the farmers says, "Hey, did you see that rabbit with the red hat?" And the other farmer says, "What do you mean? What rabbit with a red hat? There was no rabbit with a red hat. I did see a rabbit with a yellow hat."
Yeah.
And then they get into an argument about it, and they end up having a big fight. I don't know. Don't ask me why I told you that story. I don't know.
It's got to do. No, you did.
Duncan,
It
how do you
this
cope
is a
with
chapter
traffic
about
lights?
perception. Sorry, Jim.
How do you cope with traffic lights, Duncan?
Well, if it's here in Texas and it's midnight and the lights, instead of showing clearly green or red, if they're just flashing, if I have someone else in the car with me, I'll say, "What color is that light?" And if there's no one else in the car with me, I will slow down until I can tell what position on the traffic light is flashing. I can't see the color,
Ah,
but I can see the position at a certain. So
Yeah.
that's how I deal with that.
very good. Thank you.
Yeah, but if it comes to color, I rarely will buy anything in color for myself. I usually let other people do that for me.
Mhm.
Dave, on page Gabler 456.
Okay.
6. Okay.
Page 456.
456.
On there.
In
Broken
the,
glasses. Yes.
The last paragraph
Yes.
there, Stephen.
Must get glasses. Broke them yesterday. Ah.
16 years ago, he also broke them.
Mhm.
yes, I'm actually in a portrait group, and we just did that last session where he's been unjustly punished for breaking his glasses.
Yeah.
Now
Mhm.
I'm on page 456, not
At the
line
bottom.
4. Like I'm in the Circe chapter, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you're on page
At the
Gabler,
bottom.
page 456.
Yeah. Could you give me a line number?
Last
3632.
paragraph, Stephen.
3628.
Yes.
36,
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
3630.
Yep. Yes. Thank you. Wow. Owen, that's like very quick research there, buddy. That's great.
And I had a reference written down here already.
Hey, no, that's good.
Yeah. So I realize that this is not the chapter we're discussing, but can you tell me what lynx eye means?
Oh, I don't know.
Lynx eye, I mean, the whole thing is brings the match near his eye. And he
36.
says, lynx eye, musket glasses,
36.
broke them yesterday, 16 years ago, distance, eye sees all flat.
Lynx eye, according to Google, is exceptionally sharp or keen vision.
Oh, like eagle eye.
Well, he brings the match close to him so he can see it exceptionally well, maybe.
Yeah, and by the way, Sloat confirms that. Lynx are proverbial for the keenness of their sight.
Okay. So also, Owen, since we're here, I mean, it's cannot be an accident that we have the sentence ineluctable modality of the visible.
How do you mean, Duncan? Sorry,
In that same section, right after he says, eye sees all flat, he draws the match away, it goes out, brain thinks near far, ineluctable modality of the visible.
oh wow, yeah, I hadn't seen that. Yeah, well, I hadn't noticed it. I'd seen it, all right. So yeah, that is a tie in there as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he brings the match near, far. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, it's my contention that Stephen is not wearing glasses on the day that Ulysses is set. He's walking around Dublin and he can't see. And that's the main point behind that chapter we're just read.
You think because he doesn't have his glasses on that is an important aspect of that chapter.
Yeah.
All right. Joe, you have any comment on that?
No, I'm just following it.
That's great. That's marvelous, Owen. I had never thought about that. I've made a note here among the many I've made in the book.
And 16 years ago, was he 6 years old?
No. That was in, Dave will tell us, that was in the portrait when he was in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he broke the glasses and got yelled at.
Yeah.
I think
No. He got paddled. He got spanked.
Mm.
And it quite unjustly.
Yes.
You know.
I just can't find where. I'm looking at my Elman, but I can't find where it says that he didn't wear his glasses. I mean,
Oh, the section where he stopped wearing glasses in order to.
I have it underlined here, but it doesn't really help. His nearsightedness, this is Joyce's, his nearsightedness was becoming part of his personality. For rather than stare myopically or wear glasses, he assumed a look of indifference. And that's on the bottom of page 64 in Elman. But it doesn't really help, but it just says that he wasn't wearing glasses at this stage of his life. And now that is when he's preparing for the matric in 1898.
Yeah.
But it is somewhere else that he wasn't wearing glasses.
I've been trying to. There's a huge number of references to eyesight and I can't find the one, but I have a memory of that, and it's in later life as well. It's not in university that he has, not in school days rather. He definitely does take advice to stop wearing glasses at one stage.
Yeah.
I can't find it either. That's why I've been rummaging around. And,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah.
It's interesting how sensitive this is for him. I'm in the portrait now, and you know, the lazy little schemer, lazy little schemer, and that gets mentioned again in Ulysses, does it not? Maybe we just looked at it.
It does, yeah.
I can't remember where. Out here, Daedalus, lazy little schemer. I see schemer in your face. Where did you break your glasses? So this is kind of the baggage that gets brought into his adulthood, into Ulysses.
Yeah. It's in what you call it, Aeolus episode, isn't it? Or is it?
Actually, so here, I just Googled it. Leopold Bloom thinks he hears the editor Miles Crawford say the line in the newspaper
Yeah.
office.
And it's also in Circe. All these things go into Circe as
Yes,
well.
as part of a hallucination involving Father Dolan.
Father Dolan crops up in Circe.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Twice loudly a pandybat cracks. The coffin of the pianola flies open. The bald little round jack-in-the-box head of Father Dolan springs up. Any boy want flogging? Lazy idle little schemer.
Lazy idle.
Yeah. As you say, baggage that he carries, because that's his subconscious, you know. That's
But isn't it true that these things affect us? You know, we carry them with us.
They do.
absolutely.
They do. And especially, I think, Sylvia, you know, as a retired teacher, I know that some of my kids, 12, 13, 14-year-olds, had an acute sense of justice, whereas adults were maybe willing to let things go more because the world's got lots of shades of gray. These kids are like, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was young Stephen's impression when he got paddled for something that wasn't his fault, and that I think he cleared it up. I think he'd actually reported it to the teacher and said, like, I broke my glasses, and he got a pass on it.
Right, I found something in Elman. Okay, page
Right.
192. It's a letter that he's written to Stanley. So page 192, and it's the last paragraph. It may be of some help. Let me know when we're on it.
Maybe just read it on.
Okay. So page 192 of Elman, a letter from James Joyce to his brother. I have finished chapter 15 and chapter 16. This is presumably writing about Ulysses. I'm just coming at this from askance. And I'm now at chapter 17. I was examined by the doctor at the Naval Hospital here last week, and I now wear pince-nez glasses on a string for reading.
Yeah.
So he doesn't wear glasses full time. He just uses them for reading. So and this is 1904, by the way. That's important.
Yeah.
This is 19. Oh God, you got me. 1905. All right. But so
He's in Trieste,
my
yeah.
point is that Stephen is out walking around now. He's not reading, so he doesn't have his pince-nez glasses with him. So he is not wearing glasses. Stephen doesn't wear glasses at any stage during the day of Ulysses, which is kind of strange because the character, or James Joyce, is always portrayed as wearing glasses with regard to Ulysses.
Yes. I mean, I don't know what your edition looks like, but there's mine. There's my cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the glasses.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I've got to say about that.
Good point.
There's got to be a scholarly paper, an in-depth scholarly paper on this
Well,
topic.
there's that critical essays. Let's see if I can go down and get that.
He,
While we're waiting for him, who's the Virgin of Hodges Figgis?
where's that, Jim?
Well, Hodges Figures is a bookstore, isn't it, in
I
Dublin?
know that.
Yeah.
I have shares in the place at this stage. I've spent so much money there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth line from the top, page
Got it.
45, Wordsworth.
Yep. Thanks. So that's
The girl that he tried to, that he noticed really looking in the window of Hodges Vigus, and he kind of fancied her. Often wondered if that wasn't Nora.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. No, no one knows.
still there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting.
And it wouldn't be that far from the hotel, would it?
Oh no, it's on the shop, strolling around the block. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So this book here, critical essays, okay?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't recommend it. Honest to God, I don't. It's harder than Ulysses to get through. But if you go to Circe, there's a guy who I'm sure you're familiar with, Hugh Kenner.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Good.
So he does an article on Circe. And if any of you have it, it's on page 353 of Circe. And I'll read it out if anyone cares to listen to me.
Please do.
And so one last naturalistic detail. In it, and he's talking about Circe. In a chapter of mutations and transformations, it is fitting that the whole stratum of the first half of the book should be transformed. And sure enough, we learn that Stephen, acutely myopic, has been without glasses all day.
Yeah.
Must get glasses, broke them yesterday, 16 years ago. Distance, the eye sees all flat, brain thinks near, far, ineluctable of the modalities. 16 years ago recalls another time of broken glasses, made memorable by the pandybat of Father Dolan, whose apparition pops out of pianola a page later. Ineluctable, this is Duncan's point here. Ineluctable modality recalls the Proteus episode, the transactions of which, with the seen world, we now realize for the first time were conducted amid objects Stephen could barely see. He saw as much as he did because in the strong sunlight, his eyes' iris closes down and diminishes the circles of confusion. How he saw, we may gauge from the details in Telemachus, with a threadbare cuffage at a distance of, say, 8, yeah, and so on. But you got the point there, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's not just me. That's Hugh Kenner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That transforms that chapter. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
stop.
an important issue.
And
Mm.
isn't, I should say it, isn't Stephen depicted in Strick's movie of Ulysses as not having glasses? Am I imagining that? Strick would be from Kenner's era. So, and he's very good on detail. I must look at that movie again.
The 67 movie, is it?
What was that movie, Jill?
The Ulysses movie.
The Joseph, what's Joseph?
Joseph Strick.
Joseph
1967, was it?
Okay.
Say again, Owen?
It was it's big 1967, black and white. Is that the one?
Yeah, black and white in the 60s. Might be earlier even than that.
67 here, yeah, I have it.
I haven't seen it for ages.
It would seem to me that the Stephen Birmingham? Kevin Birmingham book would have some references since it's such a medically oriented book. The Most Dangerous Book in the World by Birmingham.
Yes, fab book.
Night, night.
Night, Sylvia.
Hey, Sylvia.
Sylvia,
Okay.
maybe just before you go, next week is Christmas Day. Are we? And then it's New Year's Day after that. So should we just kind of make a decision about what we're doing?
Well, yeah, we got not only next week Thursday, but the Thursday after that,
Yeah.
which is New Year's
New
Day.
Year's, yeah. So it's two. So are we going to pass on those two and get together on the 8th of January next? Like, is that kind of the idea?
Well,
Rob-
we haven't really decided, but most likely
Yeah.
that would be the way to go. If anybody wants to get together for a extracurriculum activity,
Okay.
that's a
I'd go for that.
possibility.
I'd go for that.
You go for that? Okay.
Yeah.
No, and we've read what we've read on Christmas Day was from is it from Portrait of
Portrait
the
of an Artist. It's the Christmas
Christmas
dinner
dinner.
scene, which is a favorite of mine.
No
Yeah.
glasses. No glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got up some stills as well, and there's no glasses in it. So this fantastic guy for detail, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is good.
Kenner and Strick.
Mm.
Sorry, Cecilia or Sylvia, we shouted over you there. I shouted over you. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So I think officially, we will not have the normal readings on either of those Thursdays.
Okay.
But
However, I'm just going to be kind of kicking about myself.
That's all. Nothing happens to me on Christmas. I talk to anyone.
so what you're saying is that Duncan's shop will be open if anybody wants to pop in.
That is correct.
That's a good
That's a good way to put it.
For people with unhappy home lives.
Yeah. But bunch of communist orphans.
I
I can
know.
get my grandchildren to read
Christmas
for you that
refugees.
day from you.
right.
What do you?
You could do
Okay.
that. You might as well do it.
Christmas refugees, that's the one.
I know. Okay.
Could we safely conclude that we finished that chapter, or is that a bit risky?
That's
Yeah,
not-
I think we can. I think we.
I'm willing to
Thanks.
let it go.
Let's
Yeah.
not be hasty.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know about the
Otherwise-
safely part, but we're going to move on with
otherwise-
Calypso.
Otherwise, Joe's going to lose his mind.
I'm not going to remind. This is the 8th time in 2 weeks I've read this fucking.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Joe,
Just
did
a-
the glasses thing come up in the other readings though?
No, that's the first time in all my years I've ever heard that point come up.
There you go.
And what do you
Hmm.
think now?
Thank you.
Huh?
Anyway,
What's your thoughts on it?
Oh, you're right. I think you're spot on. Spot on. Absolutely. It's in the text. Broke them yesterday. It's there.
And this, if I may be so bold, this is actually an example of what this particular episode is about. It is about the role of unique perceptions
Yeah.
and about the relationship between thought and perception.
Yeah.
At least that's how I'm going to wrap it up in my
Good.
little bailiwick.
Before you do, just a reminder, Tempest, be there, be
Tempest.
square tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And
See you all then.
Joe, if you come, we'll even let you read the part of Prospero, buddy.
Oh, wow.
There you go. I work on a Friday, and that includes the day after Christmas.
Yeah. That's why we haven't been able to tempt him.
They're howling for the Christmas bonuses. For God's sake, I have to have Christmas too, but they won't listen to me.
Well, happy
Anyway, for
holidays,
those
everyone.
of you
Merry Christmas to
who
you all.
Bye,
yes, have a
everybody.
good
Merry Christmas.
holiday. have a good 2 holidays, and I shall see who I see next Thursday.
Excellent.
Okay. Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Happy Christmas and Happy New Year,
There you go.
etc., etc.